Okay, I've done a number of videos in the past on the artificial intelligence in the video game Carmageddon and how it's able to actually deduce in like a Sherlock Holmes fashion what the player is going to do next. In other words, it's able to, like a detective, it's able to put together a bunch of different evidence or a bunch of different facts of what the player has done in the game so far up to the current moment, and then it's able to draw from that conclusions based on all that evidence, put all that evidence together and draw from that conclusions on what the player is going to do next. So in other words, it's able to think in kind of a logical, analytical type fashion, which kind of blew me away when I first realized that this game could do that, because I didn't even know that before I started studying the AI in this game, I didn't even know that any AI could do that. Even today, I had no idea that artificial intelligence was capable of thinking logically like that, and much less in a video game that's like 15 years old. So that really blew me away about the capabilities of artificial intelligence and what it's going to be capable of, what it's already capable of now, and what it'll be capable of in the future. So this video clip is another example of that. So let's take a look at it. All right. So here you see me driving the blue van, which has become my favorite vehicle in the game. So I waste coup de grace right there. So I mean, like I only have two more to go now after this. So I just wasted coup de grace, and I'm looking for the next opponent, which my minimap tells me is somewhere in this direction. And so I'm heading off in this direction. And sure enough, there's the next opponent, Lady B, turned over on its side. So I wasted Lady B, and now I'm just stopping because I want to waste the last opponent, but I've got this like power up that I don't want, this oil. So I'm like dumping out the oil so I can go to the next power up, which is the propulsificator. Because see, I switched to a new keyboard and I've forgotten what I'm mixed up on which keys are now switch power ups. So I head in this direction where the mini map says the next opponent is. Sure enough, there's Vlad. So I get him against a hard spot there, and I use the repulsificator, and he gets wasted. So anyway, that spot where I'm dumping the oil out so I can enable the next power up, which is much more useful repulsificator. The moment I'm doing that, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be funny if as I'm dumping out this oil, wouldn't it be funny if the AI understood why I was doing this? Wouldn't that be wouldn't that be funny? Because I've been playing this game long enough and studying the AI long enough to know that it's pretty darn smart and it's capable of a lot of logical capabilities. So I was, just as a kind of a offhanded thought, I thought, wouldn't it be funny if the AI understood why it was doing this, and at that exact moment it showed some kind of indication that it understood. Well, anyway, so let's see this whole thing from Vlad's point of view, and see what he was doing at the same time that I was hunting down all the opponents. Okay, so here we see it from Vlad's viewpoint, and as you can see, he just came down that long ramp from the city into the area called Max's Junkyard. Now he's kind of just following the the race route, circling around here, and this is part of the normal race route, and starting to heading towards that ramp, and starting to head upwards. And right up here, so he's about to continue on to the race, and whoa, look at that! Did you see that? It was like he suddenly turned into like the shadow mode for a really split second, a really short, brief moment there. He just turned into what I call the shadow mode, and then he just reappeared again and just shut off the edge of the ramp there. So what was that all about? Was that just a random glitch, or what was that? So here I come, I find him, he gets right against this hard place, and boom, I use the repulsificator on him, and I waste him. So the interesting part is that spot where Vlad is visible, starts out visible, suddenly turns invisible or ghost mode for like a split second, and then turns visible again. So let's look at that again in like slow motion, see if we can confirm exactly what he's doing there. Okay, here we are in slow motion. We see him rounding the bend there. So he's still visible. He's still visible. He's just coming along. This is like a frame by frame. Boom! Right there. See that? Right there. He turns into the ghost mode there. Now he becomes visible again, and he takes off and he goes over the edge of the ramp like that. There we go. Okay, now let's see Vlad's actions and my actions like side by side so we can see exactly how they coordinate with each other. There you see I just wasted coup de grace. So there's Vlad on the left side. He's going along the race route. Going along the race route. Here I'm heading for Lady B. I'm about to waste. Vlad is kind of slowing down a bit, seeing what I'm going to do next. Boom, I waste Lady B. Now Vlad is heading towards the ramp. He's not sure if I'm going to chase him or not. So he's just going ahead with the race. Then all of a sudden, right here, I'm spilling out my oil. There, right, boom, right there. Exactly right. Exactly, it aligns perfectly. Exactly the spot. Exactly the moment where I drop out my oil. That's exactly the moment where Vlad does that funny little thing with where like he like turns into shadow mode, and then he like becomes invisible for a moment, and then he takes off. And right here, notice he like positions himself right against a hard spot because he knows that I'm about to use the repulsificator. So my theory is that the AI wasn't sure what I was going to do. After I wasted Lady B, it wasn't sure if I was going to run over and waste Vlad next, waste the last opponent, because he was the last opponent, or not. It was trying to figure out what I was going to do. And then when it saw me spill out my oil, it knew exactly what I was doing. It knew that it knew what it was dumping out. I was dumping out my oil so that I would enable the next power up, the repulsificator, which is a much more useful power up. And at that moment, that's why Vlad did that. He went into ghost mode and then came back out of it again. That's what I call the AI's aha moment. That's where the AI says, "Aha! I know what he's planning to do now. He's planning to do such and such." And that was the AI's aha moment. That's why at that exact moment, I've seen that before in other playings of the game. The AI at a very key moment when the player does something, it will like react. It will either suddenly go into ghost mode for a second, or else it will suddenly change direction and start heading in the player's direction, or something like that. That shows that it knows what's going on there. So I hope you enjoyed that. So like, share, and all that other good stuff, and be sure to check out my other videos on artificial intelligence and video games. Thanks for watching.